Hello there, and welcome to another Starfield video. Today we're going to be taking a look at a paid mod. This is the Jupiter Balance mod by Asteroid Leaf. This is apparently a massive overhaul to many of Starfield's gameplay loops and combat systems, as well as new mechanics. So it says for the best experience, do a new game. Now normally I'm kind of on the boat of there's no point doing a new game necessarily. But I think with this mod, because it's like an overhaul mod, we're definitely going to be doing a new game. So this recording's going to be a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over like some of the features, and then we're going to play for like maybe an hour or two in a new game and just kind of see like what changes. So if we look at the description, just some of the things. So armor can be broken during combat, needs to be repaired. So there's armor degradation. Armors are found fitted poorly and you need to fit them. Certain factions can disguise you. This functions the same as my standalone disguise mod. Don't use both. New sap cells can be found or bought to recharge your suit's environmental protection. All weapons have been adjusted to feel more weighty. Weapons were renamed to reflect their manufacture and modded state. Most automatic weapons have more recoil, meaning you need to control the recoil. Shotguns have a serious kick. It costs O2 to aim a weapon. Weapon levels have been redone to start out by finding basic versions of most guns to seeing kitted ones later on. Weapon attachments have been reworked to offer more sensible bonuses. Weapons have been de-leveled, meaning you can encounter any level at any weapon, any level. This mod is heavily about being prepared for whatever it is you're doing, meaning bring your right weapon, right armor. All weapons have more sway and less stable by default. Skills fix this. Armors in the game have environmental protection adjusted to reflect their classes, so exploration, balance, combat. Armor will now affect your O2 usage and movement based on its weight. Armors have been renamed to reflect their manufacturers. Almost all armors now have multiple tiers that you can find at different levels. This is reflected in their stats and names. In general, all armors can last in a hostile environment for much longer, though certain suits are better. Backpacks now actually give you extra carry space. Backpacks can now be worn without a spacesuit. You'll see NPCs wearing them because out. All humanoid and robot health pools and resistance have been adjusted to be realistic. Note the armor. This makes armor extremely important, as it's one of the things that differentiate you dying from anyone else. Robots are resistant to energy damage, less so to physical, and even less so to EM. Hostile NPCs now level with the character across the universe. Levels don't grant more health, only certain perks do. I can't stress how it's important the armor to survive. NPC combat AI has been massively reworked to make them make better decisions. They will retreat, take cover, use their numbers. See, this is always something that I'm interested in when they say like enemy AI has been improved, because I don't know if like there's like some heavy scripting being used here or something. I'm assuming there is, because there's been a few mods that have done that. Like, I know there's a few follower mods that were supposed to enhance the AI, like the AI kind of stuff, like of the NPC that doesn't. NPCs use ammo and they will switch when they run out. All faction-based NPCs had their possible loadout and armor diversify. You'll see various equipment varieties. NPCs will use more legendary effects against you, such as Disarm Chameleon. NPCs will threaten the player when sighted in more cases than not. Loot economy. All vendors in every city have been given a curated selection of equipment based on where they are and what kind of store. Vendor credits have been massively increased, though the size of the shop was taken into account. Most vendors will not sell pirate, ecliptic, or Varun gear due to laws. The trade authority don't care. Varun weapons are considered contraband. In general, guns and armor are massively more expensive. This means you'll have to choose your gear carefully. Jobs for mission boards and quest rewards play much more. Medical supplies are more expensive. Medical services are now more expensive. On the contrary, ammo is plentiful and cheap. In general, ammo, meds, armor, and weapons are much more rare in the wild, meaning if you're not careful about how you stock up, you could run out. Most armors will either be destroyed from combat or ill-fitted. NPCs will only drop armor and clothing they're wearing. Boss loot has been overhauled. Trade, goods, and minerals have increased in value, and a viable avenue to make credits is a scabbard miner. Integrated special armors introduced in patches into loot pool. Loot in general has been adjusted to make sense of where you are and how you found it. In general, the value gap between unskilled in commerce and skilled is far greater. This means you really need to invest. EXP curve has been made linear. It now costs 100 XP to level up no matter what level you are. That makes the early game fun and hard, forcing you to make wise decisions. But late game will also be less of an endless grind. XP gain has been standardized based on what you're doing and what kind of enemy defeated. XP from discoveries has been adjusted. XP from quests has been improved, meaning you level much more fast completed quests. A great many skills have been adjusted to offer more realistic bonuses. In general, the character is slow to reload and bad at aiming. These things increase with skill. Weapon skills no longer increase damage, but do aim stability, crit chances, and other effects. Some skills like spacesuit design, persuasion, deception have brand new effects that interact with the gameplay. All food and drink now heal much more and last longer. The more powerful negative effects from drugs last longer. The value of food and drinks has been increased, meaning you potentially pursue a living as an artisan. Vending machines are more expensive. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The mod author does specify that you should play this on like normal difficulty, and that's kind of how they do it. So this is 500 credits, which is about €5. So yeah, let's jump into it. Let's see how it plays, shall we? All right, so we're just creating our character. I'm just choosing a trait. So I'm thinking, I'm just trying to think what would be the best one to kind of test this. Maybe combat medic, just because wellness and medicine. I think we'll do combat medic, and then for traits, we're just gonna go. Let me see, what can we go here? Obviously, none of this isn't gonna. It's not gonna matter too much necessarily. We'll do empath. We'll do extrovert. And we will do UC native. And we're gonna be called yeah, we're gonna be okay. I need to rename it. Okay. How do I name character? We're gonna call you Johnny. Pavlo. Alright, cool. Perfect.
Kind of ironic.
Alright, so we're gonna be skipping all the dialogue and stuff. Nah, light music.
Either way.
Alright, cool.
Never mind.
Alright, cool, yep. So, first things first, we're gonna look at the skills, and I'm gonna try, Crimson's gonna try and see if he can figure out which are different. That's okay, that's new. So running consumes, that's new. Just gonna go through them. You attempt more oxygen. Oxygen costs for range damage. Okay, cool. Stealth. Okay. Weightlifting, increase the carry capacity by 35, gives us a stagger. O2 for aiming is almost none. Excuse me. Increase your maximum health by 10%. Okay. Energy dissipation, energy damage is reduced by 40%. Gain resistance to airborne. Okay. Gymnastics, move faster. More stable, take less fall damage, replenish O2 after mantle increase. That one hasn't been changed, I believe. Nutrition, okay. Pain tolerance, don't think that was changed. Cellular regeneration hasn't been changed. Decontamination, don't think it's been changed. Martial arts, don't think it's been changed. Concealment hasn't been changed. Neural strike. I think that's been changed. Rejuvenation hasn't been changed. Has been changed rather. Oh, hold on, no, whoopsie, my phone's going off. Sorry about that. There might have been, I did not pause, so I apologize. There's probably gonna be 20 seconds where I'm just, yeah. Buy more or less. Okay. Gastronomy. Yes. Wait. Yes. Persuasion. Alcohol is there. Scavenging. Oh, that's been changed. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Tracked resources get highlighted. That's kind of cool. Pickpocketing, yeah, I don't think that's changed. Deception. Ships are stronger, makes surrender to piracy demands. Ships are stronger. Enemy contraband scans are less effective. Diplomacy. Yeah. Intimidation. Okay. Isolation. Vision attempts 50% more successful, but you gain plus 40% more XP for kill. Having 30%, that's quite powerful. That now seems to be tied to, yeah, so that's not based on wearing a suit. Negotiation, you have now access to bribery and speech challenges. Okay, is it bribery won't cost money? Oh, yeah. Instigation, small chance to force targets to be your ally, very good chance, okay. Leadership, companions, yeah, that hasn't been changed. Outpost management hasn't been changed. Manipulation, don't think it has been changed. Ship command has not been changed. Xeno sociology hasn't been changed. Here's the weapons. Ballistics, crit damage, range, crit damage, range, crit damage, increased range. Melee, do more damage, damage. Okay, yeah, so that's been kind of changed a little bit. It's been kind of, the melee kills make you run faster. I think that was originally a rank 3. Lasers, crit chance, reload faster, 10% increased range. Lasers now shoot 2 projectiles at once. That sounds kind of broken. Pistols are more stable, pistols are more accurate, pistols are even more stable. Shotguns are more stable, accurate, faster, more stable, chance to knock down enemies. Throwing grenades now shows a trajectory, explosive to more damage, reduce the damage, all previous ones are double. I don't think that's been changed. Weapons are lighter, faster, more accurate, readied faster, physical resistance, okay. EM does more damage. Okay, I don't think that was changed. Particle beams, 5% more accurate, beams 50%. Particle beam weapons do additional 10% damage. And EM, that's kind of meh. Weapons are faster, more stable, more accuracy, reload, more stable. Increased crit chance, non-automatics, increased crit chance. I think that hasn't been changed. Reload faster, reload pistols, reload shotguns, reload rifles. I will say that is personally that's a bit of a weird one, just looking at it, because realistically, if you're a pistol user, having to waste an extra 3 points, although like I said, later on I suppose when you're leveling it won't be too bad, but yeah, it's a weird one. I would much rather it was like reload all weapons faster, reload all weapons fast, you know what I mean? Sniper, I don't think that's been changed. Targeting, increased accuracy when shooting without aiming. That hasn't been changed. Armor penetration, don't think it's been changed. Crippling, hasn't been changed. Sharpshooting, hasn't been changed. Astrodynamics, hasn't been changed. Theology, hasn't been changed. Medicine, hasn't been changed. Research methods haven't been changed. Surveying hasn't been changed. Zoology, not changed. Weapon engineering. Don't think it's been changed. Space design. Okay, yeah, that has been changed. Scanning hasn't been. Okay, that has been changed. You can now see better combat information. That might have been changed. Botany hasn't been changed. Astrophysics hasn't been changed. Chemistry hasn't been changed. Outpost engineering, I don't think it's been changed. Special projects hasn't been changed. Planetary Habs hasn't been changed. Electronic fusion hasn't been changed. And then finally, ballistic weapons do more damage. Ballistic weapons, I don't think that's been changed. Boost pack. Piloting hasn't been changed. Security hasn't been changed. Targeting control hasn't been changed. Shields hasn't been changed. Payloads hasn't been changed. Engine systems hasn't been changed. EM systems. Energy hasn't been changed. Missiles Hasn't been changed. Particles. Changed. Robotics hasn't been changed. Starship design hasn't been changed. Hasn't been changed. EM hasn't been changed. Boost pack assault training hasn't been changed. And automated weapons. Okay. So there's some decent changes across the board. Not a whole lot, but gets the job done. So let's go and take a look. Let's do some combat. So off the bat, I only have a cutter. I have my suit. God damn, it gives a lot of physical protection. Let me put on my helmet. Yeah, very high physical protection straight off the bat. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of looting. Not too much, obviously, because we're more interested in the combat aspect of it.
Whoa, you don't look good.
I'm fine.
Constellation contact is on approach.
Wait, the Explorers group? I thought they were kind of a joke.
Not a joke. You're just too young to know better.
Hey, I'm just saying they got a reputation. Hell, I bet half the crew here doesn't even believe they really exist.
But it's still there. Same with Constellation.
All right.
Yeah, but come on. Exploring space? Who does that anymore? Ain't the space we've already got complicated enough?
Oh yeah, sorry. I was the settings. So this is the settings they recommend. They recommend putting ammo to weighted, sustenance to negative only, combat infliction increased, improve only, advanced, normal. They recommend turning aim assist off. I wouldn't personally. Just cause yeah. Alright, cool.
Busy. Anyone else to bother?
Did not say food is like more substantial. Alright. Straight off the bat, we're gonna go and grab that weapon. Oh, that weapon isn't there. Lovely. I hope this isn't bugged. I was doing a playthrough recently, and the game was bugged. So we're gonna pause here while they do their talking. All right, they're coming in. So, at what point do I grab the weapon? Why not get? Why is this game always? God damn it! Okay, there's no weapon. All right, so I got my laser. Don't fire till you see the white in their eyes. Oh. Oh. Got one. Alright, straight off the bat, we're just gonna look at this. So he's got a factory spec breach. Fair enough. Let's equip that. Oh god, that's some kick. That's some fucking kick. Jesus Christ. Okay, what do you have? You have a factory Equinox, pirate helmet. Okay, rescue axe. You've got factory spec FM1, LF, regular. Jeez, a lot of cool guns straight off the bat. Just quite cool. Old Earth M1911. Let's really quickly swap to another gun. As you can see there, I'm using the Equinox. I'm using O2. Old Earth 12 gauge. Lasers shouldn't have any recoil. Excuse me, but lasers shouldn't have recoil again. Oh, this low. Okay. I do like it though. I like that the weapons are more weighty, more punchy. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, what did he have? Ooh, we got, like, straight off the bat, we got a lot of weapons. I just picked up a destroyed spacesuit. Let's look real quick. So we got a factory Eon, factory Old Earth shotgun, destroyed pirate suit. So can I equip that? I can equip it. Now, it still has protection, but obviously not as much protection. So right now, as you can see, we have the mining suit there that gives us a lot more physical. And then helmet, we've got this one. This is a little better. We're just going to equip that. And then weapon-wise, we've got a cutter, a breach, we got an Eon, constant Kraken, Maelstrom. We got a lot of weapons. So I'm going to drop some of these weapons. All right, you must wear a spacesuit. Cool, okay. Talk to Barrett. And we're gonna jump to the next area. All right, so we're just gonna see if ship combat has changed. There's no real. Why is it friendly? Ale?
Might need head to Key soon for a resupply. To disable their shields. Laser-based weaponry is particularly effective.
I don't know why they're friendly, but we're gonna have to shoot them. The Gatling laser.
If you can keep the enemy ship centered on the HUD, we can lock in.
So I'm assuming because I'm wearing the Crimson Fleet helmet, they're friendly, which makes sense. That's kind of funny, but quite cool. Although that, realistically, that wouldn't make sense from when you're in a ship necessarily, but then I suppose it is what it is. All right, yeah. So I don't think ship combat or like ship-based stuff has really changed at all, which makes sense. It's like ship combat in Starfield is really well done as is, and it would kind of, yeah, I fired it. It'd be good. Have I broken the game?
2 more Crimson Fleet
Okay.
ships are jumping into our location, Captain.
It's, yeah, they're friendly, which is really funny. Is the other one not going to engage me? So straight off the bat, I am assuming, let me check. Where's the other one? So the other one's friendly. Let me take off the mask. All right, so I'm assuming it is the mask specifically that's like kind of doing it, which, I mean, like I said, it's cool in, you know, like in kind of on the ground, but I don't think it should really affect the ship. I think that should be tied more to what sort of ship you're flying, like if you're flying a Crimson Fleet ship. I will put the mask back on just to see when we go down to the other planet what happens.
Hostility has been far more than
Whoa.
anticipated. At this rate, the odds of continual assault from their ships are high enough to jeopardize our mission. In short, they are after the frontier and will.
All right, so we're gonna jump cut here to when we get to next combat. All right, we're down on the planet. I've got a couple of weapons I just want to equip. So we've got Kraken, Maelstrom, Regulator, Shotgun, Old Earth pistol. Let's see some of them. Okay, so a bit of a kick to it, not a whole lot. Maelstrom. I will say I do like that weapons kind of spawn straight off the bat. I feel like when you're kind of adding a
Alien creatures are often unpredictable.
hello. Oh, you're hostile, aren't you?
Enemy detected. Immediate vicinity.
So what was I gonna say? Sorry. So like straight off the bat, one of the best ways to kind of like revamp is to kind of remove the weapon requirements, like levels, which is what this has done. This is single fire, as you can see, aiming down. So shooting uses oxygen, and aiming uses oxygen. Kind of interesting. I think aiming definitely, like, it makes sense aiming, using oxygen. Shooting, I feel like, let me check. So if we just shoot, if that uses to there, what happens if I aim and shoot? Okay, uses more. Okay, okay, not too bad. I mean, like I said, this is one of the things where, like, clearly the mod author has, like, put a lot of effort and work into it, and, like, with these sort of, like, overhaul mods, generally the mod author has, like, a design, like, philosophy with it of, like, kind of how they want it to perform. So usually it's kind of like any sort of, like, feedback you have, or, like, kind of criticism, unless it's, like, about something that's game breaking, usually it doesn't, you know, like, it's not really, I mean, it's always relevant, but you know what I mean. But the fact that it's a paid mod means I think it's a little bit more relevant, because I feel like with a paid mod, generally speaking, you kind of, with paid mods, it goes from I made a mod that I like and hopefully people will enjoy, to I made a mod that costs money, so, like, I want people to enjoy it. So, like, I wonder, are they open to, like, specific changes? And again, this is just my personal opinion, you know. You guys may disagree, which is perfectly fine. I just think that given the limited oxygen you have...
Curious, these are United Colonies
Yep.
markings, but we are in Freestar Collective space. It then stands to reason that this was once a secret UC facility.
I will say the mod author should have changed some of the tutorials, like O2 is consumed with exertion, such as sprinting, melee attacks. It should also say go everything, basically. Just for, yeah. Minor thing, but I feel like it's a necessity. Especially when you're expecting people to kind of play from... Now, are these going to be hostile straight off the bat? Hello? Okay, so there is no... They don't show up on the hood. Now, I think realistically they only got hostile with me because of Vasco. I'm gonna take the helmet off real quick. Go to... med pack. Your watch beeps faster. Cool. Alright, we're gonna use a regulator. Milk. Yeah. See, the one thing I will say, right, when it comes to, like, this sort of stuff, I do like that the mod author has kind of made it so that leveling is like a flat kind of, you know, XP thing. But part of me really wishes that they would, like, maybe decrease it early game. So, like, let's say by the time you complete this area, you would be like level 5 or level 6. You know? So, like, the first couple of levels are a bit faster just to allow you to specialize in, like, a specific, like, in a specific thing. Because that's one of the issues with the base game of Starfield, is it takes quite a while to get, like, fully... to get, like, fully kind of specced into your things. Now, they don't show up on the hood, or on the they don't show up on... which is interesting. Yeah, there they are there. Oh my, oh my, okay, you gain an affliction. Fair enough. This gun kicks like a mule. Okay. I am lacerated. I'm in pain. Did I get him? Oh, is there no hit markers? I don't believe there's hit markers. They seem to have lost interest. Okay, we're not using that gun. Let's try the M811. Oh, that's more snappy. That's far better. Makes sense, though. I like that each weapon seems to have been weighted differently. Obviously, the revolver fires a bigger cartridge. Yeah, see, like, just straight off the bat, I will say the one big thing, and I'm kind of going to go back to it.
Prioritizing your deaths over your own survival.
Like, I'm not a fan of, personally, I'm not a fan of shooting uses oxygen. I do think it should be just aiming, because what's going to end up happening is basically you're going to, like, and obviously there's perks that, you know, remove that. But I don't know, I feel like that's kind of a, you know... I'm missing ammo. What other guns did I get? I'm suffering... What am I suffering from? Do I have anything to feel it? Oh, there we go. I think I fixed it. Now, personally... Oh, give me that. Personally, I would, if it was me... I would probably, again, the mod author has, like, clearly, you know, put a lot of effort into it, like, which is fine. I would definitely, if I was going to spec it, like, if we were going to keep this sort of stuff, that's fine. I would probably remove, I would set all of this to normal. Maybe not the environmental damage. But I probably would remove the combat infliction and set the sustenance to positive and negative. Just because I understand, like, level, you know, you want some punishment and stuff. Do we have no reticles? Okay, so we have, like, no reticles. That's interesting. So that's another choice the mod author has made, which I'm fine with. Factory spec CSM1. There seems like more enemies in here than usual. I don't know if the mod author has, like, modified that factory spec CMS1. Weapons sell for a lot of money. A lot of money. Just looking at that. So obviously when we get to Earth, we'll have to check that out, because I feel like we probably make a small fortune selling weapons. Now, obviously, I'm wondering if part of this is because this is a vanilla area, or because it's our quest area.
Listen up. Got someone trying to jump our score. Hold them off here. Better them than me.
This gun was always really good in game. Rattler. I will say I kind of like that there's no, like, aiming hood. Oh.
They are paying me enough for this.
Oh, you've got an AK. Give me that AK. Hell yeah. I'm hoping that's a feature that's not a bug. Like, this is a completely new playthrough with no other mods enabled. So, it should be okay.
I'm detecting a safe nearby. We could make use of whatever is inside, provided you had some digipics and a disregard for personal property rights.
Yeah, we'll unlock it. Uh-oh. There we go. Alright, let's head up. And let's just shoot to kill. Yeehaw. Over encumbered, that's fine. Save here, I'm just gonna walk right up to them.
You gotta be kidding me.
Enough talk.
This'll be fun.
Oh, he's got a fucking rocket launcher. You fucking serious? Holy shit. Alright, let me eat all of my food. I don't have a boost pack. Uh-oh. I'm in severe pain. Yeah, see, I don't... Personally, like I said, I don't like that weapons use it because you're going to be in situations where you're just going to have to sit here and try not to... Like, obviously, I am over encumbered too, so that's something to remember. Hello. Did I get him? Get a bridger. Nice. Alright, fast travel to your ship. Alright, I'm over encumbered slightly though. How much am I over encumbered by? A fair bit. Factory bridger. These are worth like a fortune. Let me really quickly give some stuff to Vasco. Where's Vasco? We're gonna give stuff to Vasco, then we're gonna head to Earth and we'll be back. Alright, so we're gonna check some of the cost of things. We go to the vendor. This is 22,000 credits. Oh, you can buy stuff from it now? That's quite cool. We're gonna sell some weapons. Okay, so they're not worth as much as I would assume, but they're still worth a fair bit. We're gonna sell some stuff. We're gonna sell that. Sell you, sell you. Obviously, ammo is gonna be kind of useful to sell. So these, obviously, they're destroyed. Now we're gonna see how we can fix them in a moment. So we've got the raiding pack. We'll get rid of that. Helmet, we've got 3 of these. Throwables, we'll sell these. I like that you can buy stuff from the vendor, though. I think that's quite cool. Factory spec, Nova Light, Grendel. Old Earth SVD. That is not an SVD, my man. That is a VSS. See what spacesuits they have. Okay, Ecliptic Grunt stuff. Ecliptic Grunt spacesuit. Oh, they've perks on them. Oh. Small O2 Reserve, Light Mercenary Rig, Pilot Corsair, Alloy Plating, Thermal Resistance, Combat, Maroon Acolyte Spacesuit. Okay, so that's quite cool. That's quite cool. Is there any weapons that are legendary? I don't think so. Packs, they've got a Bounty Hunter pack. That's quite cool. What about helmets? They got ecliptic helmets. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna sell more stuff from Vasco, and then we're just gonna check out some of the other vendors. We'll be back. All right, so just looking at it, so they did technically make ammo cheaper. So like for example, 27 caliber. If you go on the wiki, it's 25 per. They've basically halved it, which, yeah, it's kind of cool. The only thing is, like, it's still quite pricey here. Like, it's a value of 12, which is half. Some ammos are obviously like a little bit more pricey. Like for instance, if we buy some, let's buy some 7.62, like it's costing a little over 4K for like 4,000 rounds. Now saying that, obviously after doing like the missions and stuff, I kind of came out with like a tidy profit of about 20K when I was selling all my stuff. We'll sell that real quick. It's like you can obviously make like some money. We're gonna head up some of the other vendors real quick, just to kind of see what they're selling. Now the thing is, you could sell ammo, but ammo is clearly not worth selling. Well, maybe some. Weirdly, when they said like ammo was cheaper, I was kind of thinking it was gonna be like dirt cheap. Like, you know, like you could buy like say like it was like maybe like 4 per or even 5 per. So we're gonna just check. We're gonna just go to some of the various vendors. We're gonna start with James and Mercantile, just see what they have for sale, and then we're gonna grab a couple of the bounty missions. Just kind of go through a bounty mission, and then we'll swap over. We might swap over to PC just to see kind of some of the perks. So let me Equip my AK. Old Earth AR. Okay, so
Barrett enjoys this establishment. He frequently buys chocolate here.
hello.
Hi there.
Hi.
Thanks for stopping in.
It is
I can
likely
take care of Trin.
significant.
What do you have for sale?
Oh, please, take it.
All right, so they're selling. Obviously, they only sell two of the normal weapons: spacesuits. They sell ground crew, light mercenary, space trucker, star roamer. So I quite like that, how they've kind of set them up. Now that being said, just the way the weapon or the way they're set up, I like that they have these like perks on them. I kind of wish that the packs had them too. And I kind of wish that when you pick them up, they would have, you know, like say, like, because I picked up spacesuits currently.
Thanks for coming in.
I only caught the tail end of that. Like, I kind of wish that, like, all spacesuits had bonus stats based on. Really now is we're going to really quickly we're going to check some of the other locations and we'll be back. We're here at the UC supply store. Seeing what they have for sale. Weapons. Custom spec. So it seems like that's how they basically do it. So factory spec means the gun comes with nothing. No attachments, no nothing. And then there's standard issue weapons that tend to come with some stuff. So we've got a standard issue side star there. A1. Is there a factory spec side star? I don't think there is. And then we've got the custom spec Urban Eagle with some stuff. Now if we go to the spacesuits, we've got the heavy mercenary rig, 5% chance disarm, EM damage, oxygen, damage from human enemies, combat veteran, so that's quite cool. A combat veteran weapon holster, combat weapon veteran holster. So I like that they tweaked all the vendors. So this guy sells like a lot of UC armor, which is very cool. We've got a holstered. So as you can see, we do have like we do have some like perked stuff. Like we have the blue quality, which is cool. I do wish there was more, to be honest. UC stuff looks pretty cool. All right, so what else we got here? I don't know if we have anything else. All right, so we're gonna check. We'll check one last vendor. I'm just wondering. I'm trying to figure out where I can find a. Can he see me? I don't know if he can see me. I could probably knock that out. So let me. We're gonna do some. Hold the phone. Perfect. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do. All right, kids. I don't condone shoplifting. Most days. We got a nice. This is some Skyrim-esque stuff. Quick save. Ah, nice. We got ourselves a new mining suit. Cool. That's pretty fucking cool. So I've never actually really done that. I didn't know you could like straight steal stuff. What else did I have here that he dropped? Do you see marine pack? No, they're kind of. Anything else I can steal? Oh, you do. Old Earth SVD. So like, one of the things I will say. Let me open that. Okay, kind of. So one of the things I will say, like.
What do you think you're doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, we're gonna reload that save up. So one of the things I will say is I do really appreciate the fact that one, the vendors have unique stuff, and that all the weapons are kind of available from the get-go. I think that's really, really cool. Personally, I'm a big fan. We're gonna go check some other vendors real quick. I'm gonna check the Gun Girl, Centaurian Arsenal, and actually we need to talk to a doctor. Let's see how much the doctor costs. Yo, Doc! Yo, Doc! Doc?
I've got limit. We're doing the best we can here.
How are you, Talia?
That's all we can have.
Jesus, doctor, I could use some help.
Well, that's what I'm here for. You're a sight, aren't you?
I am, Jesus, by Jesus, I am. 500 credits.
Take a nice deep breath
and we'll get this over quick as we can.
All right, Doc.
There you go. More or less good as new.
Doc, you said you were charging me 500. Why did you take 1,800 credits? What the fuck, Doc?
We're no Reliant Medical.
This is why you don't trust Irish people. 1,700 fucking credits! Alright, fair enough. Excuse me? 17k? For Junk Flush? Alright, so they've tweaked some of this stuff. And again, like, clearly that's the design philosophy. I did say it was kind of weird that, like, it gave me one price but listed an other. I think the mod author needs to fix that, obviously. Right, so we're going to really quickly go and we're going to hit up the last two spots real quick and we'll be back. Okay, so we're here now just because I'm talking to the people. They all have their backpacks on. Which, I'm gonna be honest, looks a little bit goofy, but I understand it.
But gentlemen.
Alright, so we're waiting for her to talk because I want to go down to the workshop and just see what it...
Right.
Alright, we'll be back. Alright, so we're down here, Constellation. Let's see what guns we get. Off the bat, we got a factory spec shotgun. Nice. We got another factory spec shotgun. Alright, credits. Alright, so let's see how the spacesuit workbench stuff works. So, we have a destroyed outfit. How do we repair it? So looking at these slots, we don't see anything about repair. Do I need? Let me check. Let me check my perks real quick. Spacesuit. What does that do? You can now craft improved spacesuits, research additional mods, and custom fit and repair standard armors. So I need that perk to do that. What I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna save here. I'm gonna go do. We're gonna swap over to PC. We're gonna get some perks real quick, and then we're gonna kind of see how it works. So we'll be right back. All right, so we're here on PC. So I have just given myself fitness max level just because it increases your or decreases your oxygen use when firing a ranged weapon, and I've also given myself spacesuit design. So now what we're going to do is we're going to see about custom fitting and what happens. So currently, for instance, you can see here we've got the destroyed spacesuit. How do I repair it? Need to unlock mods? What about the UC Marine suit? Can I custom fit that? What am I missing here? Alright, what did the perks say? You can craft improved spacesuit helmet and pack mods, research additional mods, and custom fit and repair standard armor. Custom fit and repair standard armor. Okay, so is it a research option? Let me check. Is it? I don't know if it's a research option. So I don't think it's a research option. So if I wanted to, yeah. So these require your pack mods. Am I like? How would I custom fit? No. What if I look at my inventory? Dude. Like still workbench? Oh, there we go. Oh. Oh. So you have to repair it in the industrial workbench. And it requires a lot of stuff to repair. Okay, that's not... I suppose that's... They should have probably explained that. You repair it requires a lot to repair it. Tungsten adhesive, stuff like that. How do I custom fit? Is it aid? No. Is it food? It's not gonna be food. No. How do I custom fit it then? Is it... As we look at the attachments, obviously, like, the different weapon attachments, you know, you need, obviously, different mods and stuff. Internal. So I'm just trying to figure out how does one... How... Like, the only thing I could, like, think realistically... I don't understand. I'll be back. I'm gonna do some digging. Alright, so I just use console commands to do all that. Now we are going to see if that has any effect on it. No. Okay, so it's not there. Let me see if it's... Basic workbench. Alright, just give me a second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, just to double check, I'm going to save and come back into the game. Fresh restart, and we'll be back. Alright, we're back in the game, so we need a fresh load, so that means anything that's not working should work. Base mining suit. No. I'm going to be honest, I have no idea how you're supposed to make it fit. Is there like something in MISC? I don't really know. Hold on to the creation. Alright, armor can be broken during combat. Armor can be found as poor, or often found poorly fitting. It can also be fitted at the workbench. Okay, so it does say armor can be paired to the industrial workbench. New sap cells can be found. So armor can be fitted at the workbench. What workbench do they mean? All right, I'm drawing a blank here. See, here's the thing, right? So there's a limit on how much text you can have in the description of the video, or like in the description of like the mod. So obviously the mod author clearly can't like say everything and anything, but at the very least they could have put like a kind of a terminal somewhere with some kind of frequently asked questions and tips and tricks and how to do certain things. Okay, so yeah, so currently I have no idea how to currently I don't know how to. We're gonna store some of this. Like I have no idea how to I have no idea how to equip the thing, which is a bit weird. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna head to the We're gonna head grab one of the quests, you know, the missions, the bounty missions, and we're just gonna do it just to kind of see what sort of loot we get. See, this is why, like, I feel like I don't know why Bethesda like has the limit on like how much you can type and stuff. Like, I can understand like to an extent. What's on here? Did they remove a lot of the locations, or do I have to find them? Like I can somewhat understand. Let me check ships. Nothing. I get. It's always a tricky one because there's like multiple things at play here. Like mod author, you could argue like, oh, you know, that's on Bethesda because they limit how much you can speak about.
A diplomatic visa?
The well's been having brownouts all the time.
Cool, he's got new armor on. That's kind of cool. But that being said, like I was saying, you could just put some. You could just put like a book in, multiple books when you spawn in. Like, I don't like that they didn't do that because you're generally left with like, we're like, how do I do this, you know? Like, imagine like buying a car and they don't explain how to turn it on, you know?
Okay.
There's the hunter. Right, we're gonna grab a mission board. Kill the spacer. We're gonna kill the spacer on Alpha Turnion. What do you?
Good to see you. Hey there.
Oh, no, you're gonna.
Always
no,
nice
no,
to-
I don't want to talk to you. I grew up in New
Catch you
Atlantis.
later.
All right, so we're gonna head to there. Kill the space. Are you fucking serious? Can I even get there? It wants me to jump to Crix. Alright, we'll be back. So yeah, just looking at it, the mod author seems to have limited how far away you can see things to fast travel to, which they didn't mention. Now, some things are fine, but like, for instance, I can't fast travel to the lodge. Now, normally if I was using my scanner mode, I could see everything, which is weird. Also, I'm not gonna spend 20 minutes trying to get the turning on. What we're gonna do is we're going to go to one of these outposts and look for a abandoned grip light manufacturing plant. We're gonna just go there and check it out. But yeah, like it's is that it there? No. It's clearly a cool mod, but obviously there's like a lot that I feel like I think needs to be tweaked. And see, this is the issue when it comes to like, this is the issue when it comes to like the mod author currently with the creations. I don't know if the mod author has a Discord listed. Let me just double check 1 second. Yes, the mod author hasn't listed like a Discord or like any sort of a link. And see, this is again where it kind of gets tricky. Because with a mod like this that's tuned a specific way, I feel like it's very important that the mod author have some way to kind of do some testing and stuff, like get feedback. Now, I think there is some sort of a feature in effect, or if you were to make a report, like if you.
Help me, please! I can't move!
Oh yeah,
My
this
leg.
is
Please,
Spacer.
someone help me! I think I'm the only one still alive!
Oh, they're still dead. So yeah, so like you can, I believe, if you contact Bethesda support about a specific mod, they can then kind of relay that information. But this is why we need, like, at the very least, a comment section, because I feel like this sort of mod, because it's a paid mod, the mod author will need to kind of make certain tweaks and stuff to kind of make it more beneficial.
You're gonna get yourself killed. I'm going for it.
Oh.
Clearing over ahead.
Jesus, this gun kicks. We get 45 caliber, older than 1911 from pack. Use my palm pack. So it's kind of interesting too, is I believe in it, one of the descriptions is enemies will only drop what they have on them. Your suit's protection is depleted. What the fuck? Okay, that's, yeah, apparently a thing. Now, So they drop what's on them, but again, I feel like they should drop their gear too. Like, I feel like if this is the sort of mod where you're going to try and... Is my suit? My suit. What's going on? UC Marine suit is destroyed. Uh-oh. Alright, so I can put it back on. And it kind of keeps me protected. I'm dead, though. Okay. Okay, Jesus Christ, okay. Because, yeah, I feel like if you're going for that realism and making things very expensive, at the very least, you should allow players to take absolutely everything from the body. So my suit is on. I didn't even get shot that much. Now, keep in mind, this is a legendary suit that makes me take less damage from enemies. So, realistically... less damage from enemies. We're gonna run in here immediately.
You're gonna get yourself killed.
Right. See, usually I'm the sort of person where, like, I always say, like, I don't think you should need to join someone's Discord to kind of give them feedback and stuff, because not everyone can. But up until the point where Bethesda makes it easier and kind of seamless to give feedback, I think mod authors who do paid mods should definitely have a Discord or some way to communicate them with Bethesda. Like, I think, so that way that, like, with this mod specifically, there needs to be a Discord. People need to be, who purchase the mod, need to be able to give feedback on things, and they're also, that way you can kind of get a full log of what's available. Like, to be completely honest, like, it's a cool mod, but I do feel very much like the idea, like, where he says, or they, I'm not saying he, they could be he, she, they. Like, they say that there's, like, a host of new features that have been changed that you'll just find along the way. And, like, some people may be fine with that, but I always kind of... My kind of mentality when it comes to stuff like that is that, there should be a location or a way where you can see every change, how to do everything. I'm being watched? What do you mean I'm being watched? Who the fuck is watching me? Oh, somebody's watching me. So we do have hit markers. No. Like, some of the, I will say, some of the features I'm a really big fan of. Like, I like that the weapons are all kind of spawning in. Don't like the hit detection being problematic. I don't think that's... But then there's obviously some where it's kind of like, what are we doing here? You know, what's the game plan? Yeah, I guess, like, again, this is pretty much it in terms of the review. Like I said, it's a cool mod. It runs, to be honest, it runs perfectly fine. I don't really see any, like, bugs necessarily. Some tweaks, maybe. Like, for instance, I think that the disguise system shouldn't work when you're in a spaceship. It should be tied to the specific spaceship. I think that they need to kind of go in more depth with features, like have some sort of an in-game terminal or like a book, which a lot of mod authors do that. A lot of in-game kind of stuff, just so you can oh god, just so you know, we can know what the hell's going on. I do like that aiming uses O2. Feels more kind of realistic in a sense, you know, because you're stretching your arms out and stuff. Obviously, like, the fact that there's perks to remedy it, cool. I don't like that shooting the weapon exerts your oxygen. Like, I've only fired a weapon once. I've fired a shotgun, and while the kick definitely kind of hurt a little bit, that was a shotgun. I think in this universe, most weapons would be quite like fair enough with like you could think like, oh, the shotgun's gonna kick, but realistically, unless you're shouldering the weapon with your stomach or your chest, there would be no use of oxygen. Like, you know, unless my gun is just resting on my tummy and like I'm winding myself, it just doesn't make sense in my opinion. Now, someone might come in here and say, Crimson, that's completely bullshit. It does make sense, which is fair. I think ultimately, though, at the end of the day, it is a game, and you have to remember this is a game. And while it's definitely very cool to have like bouncing, and I'm very much a fan of. I'm very much a fan of challenging mods. There is obviously some though. I'm kind of like, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. If there's anything if you've messed with this mod, and there's like anything you've seen that like I got wrong, like for instance, how the hell do you do the fitting the armor? Let me know. Oh no, I think it's a cool mod. I do think, like I said, I think it at the very least, I think anybody that's interested in it, I would probably, unless you're completely fine with it kind of being like, here's some of the info, now go and find out the rest yourself. You're up to that, that's fine. Otherwise, I would probably say wait a little bit. Hopefully the mod author will see this video or might get some feedback, because I think at the very least they need to have some sort of in-game text file to explain how everything works. But yeah, as always guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.